This intricate wooden contraption holds secrets of the past, but it's not what it seems. With a sturdy handle and a tapered cylinder, it might look like a simple tool until you discover its hidden purpose. The metal bands around it glint in the light, suggesting functionality as well as craftsmanship. There are no obvious signs of machinery or complex mechanisms. It appears deceptively simple at first glance, but it held an important role in countless households across the country in days gone by. Do you know what this was for? Most people have no idea, but by the end of this journey, you will not only know what this beautiful tool was used for, but also appreciate the soul of craftsmanship that permeates forgotten tools. This is known as a butter churn, a staple in the kitchens of our ancestors. Imagine early mornings in a small farmhouse in the late 19th century, where the air is thick with the scent of fresh hay and the glow of dawn spills through the kitchen windows. A housewife, perhaps named Clara, rises with the sun, ready to begin her daily chores. She fetches this churn, cradling it in her arms, its weight a familiar comfort. She carefully pours fresh cream harvested from her dairy cows into the cylindrical body, then seals it tight. With a swift motion, she grabs the handle, and with a rhythmic pumping action, she begins to churn. As the handle turns and the cream is agitated, the churning quickly transforms the liquid into rich butter. After a brief while, the satisfaction of seeing the creamy texture become solid is palpable. The sound of sloshing cream gradually changes into a softer thud as it thickens, indicating that her labor is almost complete. It's here, in this serene morning ritual, where the heart of the household beats strongest. Clara knows that the butter she makes will spread joy at the breakfast table, atop fresh-baked bread, next to the soft-boiled eggs. But with the advent of electric mixers in the mid-20th century, the butter churn almost silently disappeared from American kitchens. The ease of power tools made churning, once a labor of love, feel like a forgotten memory. Today, the charm of the butter churn lies in nostalgia, a reminder of simpler times when life was slower and the pleasures of hard work felt infinitely rewarding. Now, let's pause for a moment before we dive into our next tool. Here's another piece of history that may hold stories within its worn wood and rusted edges. Consider this. What do you suppose this peculiar metal crate with wooden slats once served? Tiny pinholes line the sides, and the smell of ancient wood mingles with the earthy scent of soil. Its design is unassuming yet sturdy. Perhaps it was made by a carpenter who believed in the strength and reliability of his craftsmanship. But what was built for practicality may have a story far beyond what we see. This is a potato bin, a tool that served more than mere storage in the homes of America's early agricultural society. Picture a bustling farm in Pennsylvania, circa 1840. The farmer, Mr. Thompson, had just harvested a bounty of potatoes, the verdant fields behind him reflecting the rewarding labor of planting and nurturing crops through the seasons. He built this bin himself, with strong wooden sides to protect the vegetables from pests. It had small ventilation holes to let air circulate, helping to preserve the potatoes for months on end. Every fall, the family would gather to fill the bin with their harvest, each tuber a product of hard work and resilience against nature's whims. Each potato told a story of the land. Some were imperfections, others perfectly formed. Mr. Thompson would routinely check on the bin, pulling out what was needed for daily meals, ensuring that nothing went to waste. But as convenience surged with the rise of grocery stores and packaged foods in the late 20th century, the humble potato bin slipped into the shadows, replaced by plastic containers and cardboard boxes. Neglected in basements or quietly decayed in dusty attics, the potato bin has transformed into a relic of resourcefulness, a solid reminder of when home was truly where the food was. But perhaps you've seen a tool similar to this one lying in your grandfather's workshop? If so, let us take a moment to connect with that memory. What stories does it hold? Next, consider this long, wooden handle with a robust metal blade that glimmers despite its aged appearance. The blade is slightly curved, and the wood is weathered yet strong. So many hands have gripped it. Imagine what once flourished, nurtured by the hands of a skilled gardener or farmer. This is known as a scythe, a tool used for cutting down ripened grains and grasses. Step back into the late 19th century and visualize an autumn field filled with golden wheat ready for harvest. Eliza, a farmer's wife, stands alongside her husband, who confidently wields this scythe. With skilled swaths through the field, he sings a tune while cutting, the rhythmic whoosh of the scythe blending with the birdsong overhead. Before mechanization and industrial farming altered the course of agriculture, tools like the scythe connected people with their land in a way that felt poetic. When they harvested, the feeling was deep and grounding, an honest labor that bound the family together. However, the mid-20th century brought forth tractors and combines, tools that performed the labor of many in mere hours. The scythe, with its elegant form, was all but forgotten as the fabric of farming changed. The skill of using the scythe faded, replaced by machinery that could harvest vast fields in a fraction of the time. Its beauty, once part of the landscape, now collects dust in forgotten corners, a monument to the hands that once skillfully wielded it. Next, let us dive into another fascinating tool that might resemble this aid in the art of craftsmanship. The object feels almost like a strange sculpture at first glance, with its metal sphere atop a long wooden shaft and an intricate series of grooves that spiral towards a handle. But don't be fooled by its odd appearance. This was once essential in every blacksmith's forge. This is known as a tongs puller, a tool designed to maneuver red-hot metal with precision. As the sun set over a small town in New England during the 1850s, an artisan named Jasper was preparing for the long night ahead. He covered the forge with coal and tended to the embers as a blast of air ignited a bright crimson glow. Creating horseshoes and nails by hand required an understanding of metal's dance influenced by heat. Jasper grabbed the tongs puller with steady hands, its design meant to coax heated metal from the fire without the risk of burns. The tongs made contact with metal, and in that moment, he could feel the weight of his tools and the pride of craft. Where there was fire and heat, there was magic wrapped in hard work. Yet as the Industrial Revolution swept through America during the late 19th century, the hand-forged artistry of blacksmiths soon fell out of favor as factories produced goods in mass quantities. The simple elegance of the tongs puller and the craft it represented faded away, replaced by assembly lines and mechanized production. Today, as we hold this piece of history, we are left to reflect on the artistry lost in a world that sought speed and efficiency over quality and skill. The craftsmanship of tools continues to bridge generations, telling stories of both labor and celebration. For our next discovery, look closely at this curious object. Its smooth wooden handle and circular, serrated metal blade are deceptively simple, but it holds a secret of its own. This tool, called a hand crank egg beater, is a beacon of laughter and warmth in the kitchens of American houses. Picture a family of 6 gathering in a cozy kitchen on a winter morning in the 1930s. The scent of freshly brewed coffee fills the air, blending with the smell of flour and sugar as a mother prepares breakfast. Children are chirping with excitement, while the mother carefully pours eggs into a mixing bowl. She reaches for the hand crank beater, gripping it with both hands. With a twist of the handle, the blade begins to whirl, beating the eggs into frothy golden bliss. The sound of the batter swirls is a melody of happiness, the children peering in with anticipation. This cherished tool transformed everyday tasks into family traditions, revitalizing the spirit of the kitchen. In time, however, the ease of electric beaters replaced the beloved hand crank variety. Labeled as antiquated, they were put aside as they became less efficient in a fast-paced world. But for those lucky enough to inherit one, an egg beater is more than an artifact. It is a remnant of connection, comfort, and the joy of shared endeavors. And now, as we arrive at our final forgotten gem, look closely at this odd contraption. Layers of worn leather and twisted metal weave together in a peculiar dance. Shaped cup-like, yet stunted, it carries a story of communal gathering and sharing. This is a butter mold, an essential tool for decorative presentation. In the late 1800s, Alice, a skilled cook from Iowa, would prepare lavish meals for the community gathering at the local church. After she churned her butter, she filled the mold with the creamy delicacy and pushed down with the lid, imprinting beautiful designs. When she served her meal, her butter would take the shape of intricate flowers or local motifs, capturing the heart of her dishes. But as society evolved into the disposable age, ready-made foods and straightforward presentation took precedence. This charming mold was left behind, artisanship eclipsed by convenience. Today, we recognize butter molds as treasures echoing cultural legacies, still enchanting in their quaint beauty. As we close this exploration of forgotten tools, we are reminded of the human spirit interwoven in every piece of wood, metal, and leather. These tools built connections within families and communities, reminding us that craftsmanship is not merely about utility, but also about the rich stories they embody. Like this if it took you back, and subscribe for the next forgotten tool. The workshop never really closes.